they're the ones who get the show on the road. There are stage technicians, sound engineers, riggers. Turns out it takes a village of 50 to raise a rock concert. Plus 4 tractor trailers filled with several tons of equipment, which will hit 16 cities across 8,732 miles. All that with 0 frequent flyer points. What is the biggest difficulty in putting something like this together?
I think really what it comes down to is the sound and keeping all the artists happy with how the sound comes out. Obviously, musicians are going to be really picky about that.
Noah Parabo is the stage manager for True Colors. He says being a roadie can be ruthless. When this show is over and they have to tear this down, give us a sense of what happens when Cyndi says, "Good night, everybody, thank you for showing up."
Right. So the exit music goes on, crowd exits, these trusses will come down, the road cases will get filled with all this sound equipment, the instruments will get loaded onto the trucks, the risers will get loaded onto the trucks. It's a big production.
In the world of rock concerts, Wade Crawford is pretty much God, but you can just call him Wookie.
I love it. If you don't love it, it's too much work.
Wookie is in charge of sound, and that means 80 to 100 hours a week in front of all those knobs.
Once it flows, you can do it forever, but they all end eventually. So you sort of go and go and go, and then you stop.
But perhaps the bravest people on the tour are those you'll never get to see unless you look up. How high up are you right now?
This beam is 96 feet.
We interviewed Jim Edwards, a rigger, as he was putting up the curtains for the show, dangling 10 stories above ground. Is it scary right now?
Not for me.
Then we got a little taste of what it's like to hang with the guys. That's brave over there. Look at that. I mean, that is really... Now, how long before you stand on one of these and you don't feel scared at all? And how long before you feel like they're paying you enough money for this?
Never. It takes a lot.
We're here with Jim and Tommy and Steve, who are the upriggers, who basically... Explain what upriggers are.
An uprigger is a guy who goes high up in the steel, pulls all of the chain and cable that hold the lights and sound for the show.
It's like a cross between an architectural engineer and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Now, how do you become an uprigger? Do you wake up one morning when you're like 10 years old and you go, I don't want to be a fireman anymore, I think I want to be an uprigger?
Yeah, you basically get a job in a venue doing rock and roll shows, and they go, what pays the most? Those guys up there.
And how do they all feel about the true reason for True Colors?
It's really gratifying to know that, something that we did really could make a difference in a lot of people's lives.
And that's maybe the biggest question. Can the True Colors concert make Washington face the music? Itay Hod, CBS News, on Logo.